You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but Mel's Drive-In here at Universal Orlando Resort is actually based off of a 1973 movie directed by George Lucas, who did Star Wars. The movie was called American Graffiti. And it may not come as a surprise to some of you, but it's one of my favorite movies. I was actually walking through the park and I had to stop because of the chrome. The sun hitting the chrome on these cars really caught my eye. But as the title of this video states, this is not about American Graffiti. Instead, it's about Sharknado 3. Oh hell no. Obviously, I'm being as safe as I possibly can with wearing a mask and having hand sanitizer. Anybody who's been here, who's anybody, and has a YouTube channel has been doing a video on what it's like being at the parks with the pandemic. 6-foot rule, what the crowds are like. We decided not to do that type of video and say, oh hell no to that, and instead do a Sharknado 3, oh hell no, filming locations video. This is it. This is probably going to be a really bad video because it was kind of a bad movie. I liked it, but it was still bad.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. A bad luck's always coming my way.
Now here's the thing about Sharknado 3. The premise and the filming locations are bat crap crazy. They filmed everywhere from Washington, D.C. to Florida to NASA, outer space, inside a shark, you name it, they did it in this third movie. Oh hell no. The beginning of the movie, Finn is in a high speed, not a chase, but they're trying to get to the White House for whatever reason, and you come to find out that he's getting a medal. But it starts off in Washington, D.C., and then all of a sudden they're magically transported here to Universal Orlando Resort in the streets of New York. But it's Washington, D.C. Let me show you what I mean. And this right here is the street that they actually filmed on. They had a bunch of cars and spectators here. You can see this sign that says Michael's Bar and Grill. And over there, and I guess what would be considered the back lot, was the matte painting of the White House.
This is Agent Devereaux. Been bound with the package. I need 1st Street Southeast cleared now. What do you think you're doing? Semper Paratus.
It's right here in front of Louis' Bar and Grill where Finn's car, his escort, gets stopped in traffic, and he gets out. You can see the sign in the background. He gets out and he climbs on top of all the cars and runs down the street the rest of the way to the White House. In this scene, Tara Reid and Bo Derek can be seen walking right through this walkway, and those pillars can be seen, as well as the retaining wall on both sides. And if I turn the camera this way, those windows can be seen in the shot as well.
Come on, Mom, let's go.
Careful, slow down. You got a little one in there.
I've done this many times before.
Oh, well, you had 2 hands down.
Really? You're gonna go there?
I'm just saying it's okay to ask for a little help.
I guess I should point out that in the movie, Tara Reid is pregnant, and there was a sign above this door that said Orlando Women's Health Center. Everything here matches up to whenever they were here filming. Exactly.
Besides, your husband should be here. And where is he? Oh, he's probably trying to get eaten by another shark.
I can't believe I'm actually filming this right now because everybody who has a YouTube channel stops here in front of this globe and does this same exact shot. But as soon as the credits roll, For Sharknado 3, the opening credits, you see this shot right here as the camera pans to the entry gate to Universal Orlando Resort. Here's a piece of movie magic. In the movie, Tara Reid, Bo Derek, and Claudia enter the park through the exit turnstiles. Well, Claudia does. And you can see the world, the Universal world spinning in the background in this shot as well.
A teenager's romance that goes on and on.
Now, Sharknado 3 has a whole bunch of cameos in it, but what's really cool, the actual president of Universal Orlando, Bill Davis, he has a cameo in it as a greeter.
Hi, welcome to Universal Orlando Resort.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, I think it's time for the official Sharknado 3 filming locations montage.
A teenager's
Now, getting stuck at the top of that roller coaster right there on top of the hill is everybody's nightmare. But right at the base of this roller coaster at the entrance is where the worker for Universal Orlando comes out and meets Claudia, Finn's daughter, and says, you have a complete all-access pass to the park. And they go up there to ride the rocket.
Hi! You must be Claudia Shepard.
After getting off of Rocket, Claudia and her friend walk off the ride over here to the intersection, which is also where Ghostbusters was. You can see the New York Public Library in the background of this scene.
Sorry to let you know that we're gonna have to turn you two in.
You're what?
Oh, okay, you'll have to get through me first.
Should I be afraid?
Have you ever met someone who survived a Sharknado?
No, but my boy survived the alligator apocalypse. How about that? Alligator.
Somewhere in this lagoon where Finn and Nova crash, and somehow they emerge in nothing but their swimsuits for a weird, sexy kind of action montage. It's hilarious. After crash landing into the park, Nova and Finn are running along this pier right here, where they run into Jerry Springer of all people standing by the shark, and Jerry Springer asks them to take his picture. Reluctantly, Nova does, and Jerry Springer gets eaten by Bruce right there.
Please, here, take my picture. Please, take my picture. Real fast.
There's no time for this. You have to get out of here.
Nova, come on!
Obviously, if you've been to Universal Orlando, you can get your picture taken here like these folks. But I always found this very interesting about Sharknado 3. When the producers came here and wanted to film in an actual park, they told Universal Orlando, hey, in this movie, there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to die. And I've read that Universal said, as long as it's the sharks doing the killing and not people, they're okay with it. And Sharknado 3, oh hell no, was born. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is whenever the Sharknado happens, a shark actually lands on the track of the rocket. And just as this roller coaster is going through that loop, the shark goes up there, but instead of completing it, goes all the way back up to the top and eats Jericho. After Jericho gets eaten, Finn gets stuck on the roller coaster, and him and the shark go flying off the track into this building, which is Jimmy Fallon, but at the time it was Twister. And speaking of Jimmy Fallon, look, it's hashtag. How you doing, hashtag? Are you surviving in the heat? There you go. Give me your best. Perfect. Now, if you're a fan of the Sharknado movies, you know that you have to suspend belief in order to watch it. The characters, in order to escape the Sharknado, get inside that globe, the universal globe, and the Sharknado picks them up and carries them across City Walk to that lighthouse in front of IOA. Now, they don't really show the lighthouse up close, but this right here is the lighthouse where the universal globe was on top of. That's pretty high up there. For as long as I've lived here, I've never had a picture taken in front of the globe. Now's the perfect time. There used to be a sign right there at about the center of your screen that said Universal Cineplex. Now, this is a Universal Cinemark, but it is right here after the Sharknado that the characters come, and they film a little scene here where they're taking care of Bo Derek because she's feeling ill after all that tumbling inside the globe.
Hey, I love you, Grandma May.
When the gang is getting ready to leave the park, they come out and you see them walk in front of these arches, and there's two NASCARs here. They get inside the cars and they drive off down that way, which is actually towards the Hard Rock Hotel.
How are we gonna get to Cape Canaveral?
That's how.
One of the team members for Universal Orlando runs after them saying, you guys can't take the cars, and she stands right about there between these two palm trees when a shark falls out of the sky and kills her.
You can't take those cars! You can't take those cars! I'm gonna lose my job!
So that's pretty much about it for the Sharknado 3 Oh Hell No filming locations. And I'm gonna have to say, oh hell no, I can't believe we just did that in 100-degree weather in Central Florida. It's not a great movie. It's not a bad movie. It's a movie that was made for Sci-Fi Channel. Like, it is what it is. I love it.
Everybody turn around this way. Put those hands together. Here they come. All the way from County, Mississippi, Illinois. Give it up. Petroleum Jake and Elwood Blues. It's the amazing Blues Brothers. Come on, let me hear it. Put those hands together and make some noise.
What about you? You ready? Yep. All right, hit it. We're so glad to see so many of you lovely people here today. But just remember, people, that no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, some things still make us all the same. You, me, them, my brother Jake, Jazz on the horn, everybody. People, come on, hands up, put them together, and sing it with us. Everybody, everybody. Everybody, come on. I need somebody. Everybody, I need somebody. Love, some love. I'm sweet out of mess. I should get a kiss. And I need you, sing it. I need you, I need you, and our souls on fire. Sometimes I feel I really inside. When my family streets ready. Alright, there's an audience participation number. You're gonna sing it with us. Those are the words. You sing it. Thank you.
Now, I don't really ever talk about the weather, but it is 90 degrees here with 56% humidity, which is making it feel like 97 degrees outside. That's almost 100, folks. It's hot. I'm sweating. It's time to go in what once was the Universal Monster Store and now the Bourne Stunt Spooktacular store to get some refreshing water and AC. I'm getting a little loopy here. Let's go inside. Yes, air conditioning. They do have some Bourne, it does say Stuntacular. I'm gonna call it Spooktacular because every day is Halloween. But if you look over the shoulder, they do have some of the horror props still in here. Age-old question, if you are a fan of horror, do you have a favorite Universal monster? Mine, it's a toss-up between Frankenstein's monster and the creature from the Black Lagoon. You would think that I would be all obsessed about Dracula, but I'm not. Bela Lugosi, though, he trumps everything. Well, yeah.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck